and welcome back to Premier's Live Stage. I'm Stan Matsumoto, UKC Licensed Confirmation Judge, and here with me again is Nicole Sedlicki. She is the Director of UKC's Special Events.
Thank you so much, Stan, and welcome everyone to Virtual Premiere. I'm so excited to be here with Stan and all of you today. For those of you who don't know about UKC or Premiere, Premiere is UKC's largest all-breed event and has been for over 25 years. It started back in 1994. It was a two-day event that had two event styles, confirmation and obedience. And fast forward 27 years, it's now a 5-day event that covers over 12 different sports, with our pinnacle being the total dog, where dogs have to prove themselves having beauty and brains by competing and winning in confirmation and one of our 8 performance events.
That's wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about our judges today. Today we have Kevin Izzard Carroll from the state of New York and Tracy Doty from the state of North Carolina. Our Best in Show judge is going to be a secret till the end.
Before we begin, I want to point out the amazing prize packages that Eukanuba is going to be presenting to all of the group placements today. We have some amazing prizes, and it's so cool that all 1st through 4th placements for all 8 groups are going to be receiving a prize package.
That's so cool, Nicole. Let's not wait any longer. Let's get started. Our first group of today is going to be the Guardian Group, judged by Kevin Izzard Carroll.
Guardian breeds are made up of 2 types. We have the flock guards. They're used to protect the flock, so sheep, goats, and they make sure that no predators are coming to attack.
And they also herd. They are designed so they can herd a group of sheep, cattle, goats in a specific direction, and also they're able to cut an individual animal from that herd. We have the Mastiff breeds. Mastiff breeds are usually the larger breeds, and they usually have shorter coats and are used for protection and guarding estates.
All right, let's get started for our Guardian Group. All right, and our first dog is Dexter. He is a Perro Presa Canario.
Correct.
His name is Dexter de Cabeza Grande, owned by Miranda Andrus of Peyton, Colorado. So, the Presas, what can you tell me about their coat? Are they all brindle? I think they're all brindle. Oh my goodness, look at that kitty in the background. What a sweet face.
These were fighting dogs, and they're tough.
You know, they are tough. The first time I saw them, there were a lot at Gateway, but over the years, oh my gosh, they've gotten so much nicer and calmer, and kudos to their owners and handlers that have really trained these dogs, because they're not a popular breed.
No.
And it takes a lot to get dogs' temperaments
acclimated,
down.
Yes.
And through breeding and just breeding easier temperament dogs to each other. What a good, look at his big, happy wagging tail. So, Dexter, his performance event is nose work.
Oh. And nose work is where they detect different scents.
Yes, it's one of our newer sports for UKC. It was developed kind of in a mirror to the scent detection dogs that you would see at airports, like drug bomb detection.
Right.
And it has been an amazingly
It's fascinating
popular
to watch the dogs work.
Oh my gosh.
Because they use different scents. They put them in boxes, and they put them in cars, and they put them on chairs and tables, and dogs have to detect and find and determine what scent they're supposed to be looking for.
Yeah. Oh, now we are here at Hector, dog 102. This is Appenzeller. Hector Blasehound US, owned by Paula Weber of Nanaimo, British Columbia.
Wow.
You know, I don't know if I've ever seen an Appenzeller.
I've seen a few. This is a draft dog, one of the Swissy breeds, and they did a multitude of different things. They would cart, kind of a draft dog. They would guard, and they were a companion.
They remind me of the Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yes.
Are they related?
They're cousins, so to speak.
Right.
The same tri-markings. The tricolor has to be in certain areas of the body, like in the Doberman as well.
Or those, the Bernese Mountain Dog. Like it has the same like burner pattern.
It's just different coat texture. This is more. This is more closely related to the Greater Swiss Mountain Dog, a shorter coat.
Oh yes, I can see that. Hector, he enjoys rally obedience. Rally obedience is different than our traditional obedience because the courses are all different. You don't know what course you're going to get. The handlers will go through the course, read the signs, and do all the actions of the signs.
Right. It's a spur of the moment thing.
All right, now we have Tufel. That is how I say it?
I don't know.
That's a
Giant Schnauzer.
giant Schnauzer owned by Sandra Owen of Georgia.
And these can come in different colors. They can come in the black and
Salt and pepper,
absolutely.
right? Yes.
Just like the miniature.
I'm familiar with giant Schnauzers a bit because I used to work for professional handlers and we always had a giant in the truck. Always had a giant special. And they're powerful dogs.
Very.
You have to train them, and they're a lot to handle, you know. But I mean, they're so fun. Lots of personality. So, looking at the coat, how do you maintain that wire texture?
By hand stripping. If you should clipper the dog or scissor the dog, it doesn't make the coat come in that wire, harsh coat. So the body or the jacket must be always hand stripped.
All right, next we have American Bulldog 104, and this is Mona. PRHD's Roma May Razzle Dazzle, owned by Polly Dake Jones of Wisconsin. Polly is one of our UKC judges.
Right.
She judges conformation
And
rally obedience.
yes.
So this dog, but Mona, do you want to guess what her event is?
Rally?
It's not rally. I was gonna guess that, but it's stock jumping. Polly does a lot with her dogs.
She does a lot of performance, yes.
Well, she takes her dogs to schools with her too.
And what's unique about Polly is a motorcycle enthusiast. So Polly has a special motorcycle sidecar designed just for her dogs. And when she takes them on road trips, not only do they wear a helmet, but they actually wear goggles. It's hysterical to see.
Oh man.
And the
That would be
dogs
so
love
much
it.
fun.
The dogs love it.
Well, I mean, dogs just like to go places with you. They like to be with their people and they want to go.
But she doesn't mind the helmet, nor does she mind the goggles.
Yeah, Mona is training to be a service dog. Now we have Ziggy, again owned by Miss Polly Dake Jones. Ziggy is American Bulldog 105, HD's Zenful Zygmunt. And his performance event is also dock jumping. Dock jumping. I'm sure that they may even do other things that she practices at home.
I'm sure she does, yes.
With all of these dogs that we're watching today, these conformation events, they were also required to send in a performance video. I know that Polly, in Wisconsin, she's very close to water. She has a lake house, and so I'm sure those dogs are in the water all the time. And Ziggy, some fun facts is this is Polly's diabetic alert dog.
Wow.
So that's another reason to take them, you know,
It's
on
fascinating
the
to watch
sidecar.
these dogs that are alert dogs because they will actually tune in to the owners, whether they're running high or running low or whether they're getting into trauma. They alert the owner or whomever that's what that person is doing.
Isn't that so amazing?
They just sense it.
Yeah, that is. It's so cool what dogs can do and how dogs are so tuned in.
They're so in tune to their owners, yes.
All right, what is this? We have Mastiff 106 Mississippi Psycho Hound Dog, Norman. He doesn't look like he's psycho.
No.
He looks like such a sweet boy. Norman participates in weight pull, and this would be his 3rd year in top 10
Wow.
and has earned multiple Total Dog awards. He loves to swim and has several weight pull titles in multiple organizations.
I could see Norman easily pulling weight. The make and shape and the size.
You know, sometimes though with our weight pull events, it's not about the size of the dog because the way that they place the dogs, you have to be, you're placed against other dogs of your size.
Right.
And it goes by your body weight and how much time your body weight you can pull. So a lot of times it's like the smaller dogs that
It's
that
amazing to
win.
watch some of those little small bully breeds.
Oh, and here we have Scooter.
Scooter looks like he could be an old timer.
Well, Scooter just celebrated his 10th birthday.
Wow, that's great for a dog that size.
Yeah, he didn't start his show career until he was 8 years old, earning his
Interesting.
champion title and several Best in Show veterans.
Interesting.
And he's also a weight pull dog. He started weight pulling when he was 9.
Looks like Norman wants to get in with the fun.
I bet they're best friends.
I'm sure they are. He wants his turn, Dad.
But yeah, both Norman and Scooter are owned by Buddy Whitaker of Springport, Michigan. And Scooter's name is Bud's Romposaurus Scooter. Norman. And next we have Stella, American Bulldog, owned by Polly Dake Jones. Stella Mistokia of Wisconsin.
What was Stella's performance?
Her performance video was also dock jumping. And what Polly said about Stella is she's a crazy dog in whatever venue we work. Like I said, Polly does a lot with her dogs. She makes them do a lot of different things, and she's one of our judges who's a huge proponent of the total dog philosophy. Not only should they be able to be good conformation representatives of their breed and, you know, uphold themselves to the breed
Just
standard.
look pretty. They have to do something.
Oh yeah, they do a lot of things. So I think she's all white. The other ones had some coloring. Is there a preference normally?
No, not at all. Color should not make a difference in the dog's make and shape.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes coloring can be detrimental to the dog's health in the respect that if the patchwork or the markings get tied in with the visual.
All right, we're moving on. We have our boxer, Devo, 109. Rockets, oh no, it's Devo at Basingstoke. Devo is owned by Bryn Hollick of New York State. And Devo participates in rally obedience. What Bryn said about Devo is he's a big goofball who loves to be the center of attention. Loves playing fetch and is a mama's boy. So I see that they're like going into these dogs' mouth, and we're looking at bites. A lot of these dogs they have an underbite.
Boxers have to have an undershot bite, and that means that the lower jaw juts out above the upper jaw.
Is that common for a lot of guardian breeds?
No.
For underbites?
No. It's not
like
common.
Seem like the ones that we watch.
It's acceptable, yes.
Pretty dog. All right, we have Jake, the Doberman Pinscher, Midnight 7 Jake Durklein of Kansas.
I think this is so cool. It shows that the dog can perform no matter what its environment is. Here you have a dog in the family room. She's moved her furniture out of the way, and she's moving the dog down and back and around, just like in a dog show ring.
You know, we asked everyone to send in videos of their dogs, and it's so cool that, yeah, like you said, she had to move out her furniture out of the way just to participate and do all this with us.
Right.
I love it.
And here we have a Doberman. Instead of you seeing the pricked ear, you see a natural ear.
Oh yeah, I don't see that too often in conformation ring.
Some of the dogs that are bred from Europe and that are shown in Europe, it's against the law for ears to be cropped and their tails to be docked. So it's all natural.
Next we have...
This is the African Boerboel.
It is. Rue, Parabellum's Absolute It's Time Now, owned by Rachel Stuffler of Kalamazoo, Michigan. That's home of UKC.
So this breed is supposed to make fantastic boar hunting dogs. Fantastic.
How do they do that?
They turn them out in packs and they hunt boar.
Oh my goodness.
They just
Look
love
at
it.
its chest.
Look at the size of that dog.
Wow.
And they can be a tough breed. And here we have a Mastiff type breed. And again, we have a scissors bite. But you can see the Mastiff ancestry in this dog.
The big bone, big head, short coat. So beautiful. And you don't see Boerboels often.
You don't see
I think they're one of our newer breeds.
They are, right.
Big long gait. His performance event is rally obedience. Wow, what a lovely group of dogs, Stan.
It certainly was.
Before we get with Kevin Izzard Carroll, our group judge, we'd like to thank our performance dog nutrition partner, Eukanuba. Sporting dogs give us everything we ask and then some. Their nutrition should do the same. All right, so we just saw our guardian group, and let's check in with Kevin to see who his placements were. Kevin, who'd you pick?
Hey Nicole, hey Stan, thank you very much. Sorry I couldn't be with you guys this year, but thank you very much for asking me to judge Virtual Premiere 2020. It's a great honor. Thank you to everyone for their entries. I really appreciate it. For anyone that does not know me, my name is Kevin Izzard Carroll. I'm a licensed conformation judge with the UKC. I am an owner, breeder, handler of Japanese Akita, and I've been active in the show scene for the last few years in the USA prior to moving here from Ireland. So let's get started. The Guardian group was my first group to judge. Big group, good quality. I appreciate everyone's entries. Thank you so much. Fourth place I gave to the Boxer, number 109. Third place I gave to number 101, Perro, Presa, Canario. Second place went to number 105, the American Bulldog. And Best in Guardian Group, the dog that goes on to represent the Guardian Group at Best in Show, goes to number 102, the beautifully balanced Appenzeller. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kevin, and congratulations to Hector and Paula for winning the Guardian Group.
That dog, the Appenzeller, will now go on to our Best in Show Total Dog.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break and we will be back with our scent and sight hunt groups.